Hello everybody and welcome back to another Walking Dead video. Today we'll be talking about the Walking Dead Dead City / the Maggie and Negan spin-off, and talking about Annie and really what happened to her and why I believe Annie is already dead by the time we meet back up with Maggie and Negan in the TV show Dead City, which we're getting next year. So let's jump right into this and talk about all the little facts and information that I have that helps you come to the conclusion, the same one as me, that Annie is dead. And the first one is that we know the main cast of Dead City Season 1, and the actor for Annie isn't in it. This is a massive shock because we were all expecting Annie to die in The Walking Dead Season 11. She didn't, and The Walking Dead ends with Negan and Annie leaving to go start off their new family somewhere else. And you would naturally assume she'll be in Dead City, but no. We know she is not a main character in Dead City. However, that doesn't rule out maybe she's in episode 1 as a small cameo or something like that. But I have more information. You might be like, oh, maybe she's just not there. She's got her own community. No, we know because of Jeffrey D. Morgan that when we meet back up with Negan, it's been a couple years since the ending of The Walking Dead, and Negan has kind of slid back into his old ways again, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. We're not going to have the Negan that's trying to apologise for everything he did in season 8 and 7. We're going to have a Negan in Dead City that doesn't care what he's done, and he's going to be more of that villainous Negan. He talked about how Negan is a character of his environment, and Negan's going to say some things that even Jeffrey D. Morgan felt like Negan needs to be punched in the face for. So with us knowing that we're going to have a more villainous Negan and Annie not in the show, I definitely think there's something up there. Another piece of evidence that helps me support my theory that Annie's already dead is that in the trailer we do notice some new things about Negan. One, he now has new tattoos across his hands and fingers that he didn't have in season 11. And two, he no longer wears the wedding ring that he had in season 11C when he was married to Annie. And I definitely believe these tattoos and the lack of wedding ring is for a purpose. I know that in real life Jeffrey D. Morgan got the tattoos for his children, and if he had them during The Walking Dead, they always removed them. However, in Dead City, they are not removing his tattoos, and I definitely believe the tattoos on his fingers, they're going to say that is the name of Negan's child. And with us knowing that Negan's going to go down this darker path, and he's going to be kind of regressing back into his older self in this show, which kind of ruins the perfect arc for Negan, I feel. But going back to the ring, I feel like that's the big indicator that Annie's already dead, because you could argue that maybe the tattoos get CGI'd out, and I'd be like, why would they not, make up them? It would make more sense to make up the tattoos out or give Negan gloves then have to go for the effort of CGI out. So the tattoos are there in the show, guaranteed, and they definitely do mean something. They're going to give something to Negan that explains the tattoos, and I definitely think it's his children. But no wedding ring, hands down, Annie be dead, because we know Negan, he really, really wanted his wife, and he really, really wanted to be a great father, but losing everything, it makes sense with the setup in season 11 we got. This is definitely putting Negan down that path. Negan's definitely going to have a tragic story to tell in this show. And I definitely believe Annie's already dead, and that the tattoos, they're just going to say that Jeffrey D. Morgan's real children's names are the children of Negan in the show. So now we know that Annie is probably dead because of all this evidence that no ring, sun tattoos, dark Negan, and not on the casting list. Annie's dead, but how will she die? And I feel like there's a couple ways, and I definitely see this way either being a short thing at the start of this show, maybe the first episode, we see the tragic backstory to Negan in this episode, and why he's the way he is. We might have Annie come back, like I said. She's not on the main cast, but she could have a cameo where we do watch her die during labour or die somehow. Or the second way is she'll just be told, and we'll be like, oh yeah, she died between the years. We don't get to see. And I feel like that's more likely. We're not going to see her dying, but I definitely think we'll be told how she dies. And there are two ways that I see Annie dying before or during the start of the season for Dead City. And the first one is that Annie will die during labour, and the child will also die. It's something simple like that. Annie will just die during labour. As it's a deadly world, labour's pretty deadly, so it could be something similar to that. However, I felt the more interesting way, and I definitely think it would help explain why we have a dark Negan and why Negan is going to New York, is that Annie gave birth to their child, and it was successful. And we know this is a couple-year time jump, so there was some time when Negan had a family, he was all happy, and that's where he got the tattoos of his children's name. But then, maybe just before the events of the show, the main villain of the show, or someone like that, finds Negan's small community and kills Negan's family. And the reason why we have a dark Negan in the show is because he is on a revenge trip. And that is why he doesn't care about Maggie anymore, because he's focused on one sole thing. He wants to get the person that's hiding in New York and kill them to avenge his dead child and dead wife. And that's, I definitely think, a way more interesting story, and a way more interesting to kill off Annie than she dies during labour. Because, okay, she dies during labour, there's no motivation for Negan to head here or do anything. But if it's something personal to Negan, like he loses his family because of the actions of someone else, we have a simple revenge story for Negan. And maybe during this season, it could be Maggie's job to try and show Negan that it's not about the revenge. The revenge will not help you, because in a way, Maggie's been through this entire journey before when Glenn died. So maybe the dynamic in this will be about Maggie helping Negan to get this done, but then maybe stops him and teaches him, this is how I felt when you did this to me. It doesn't get better. You're gonna have to move on, not get revenge. And that's how I believe Annie's gonna die. She's gonna be killed by the main villain or the villainous group, and so will Negan's child. But please tell me down below, what do you think about my theory? Do you think Annie's dead, and my evidence from the acting and all that is correct, and that she's definitely dead? Or do you think she's just not on the show and she's fine? Also, what is your idea on my theory that Annie was killed by maybe the main antagonist of this show, and what the basic story of the season 1 would be? Please tell me your thoughts and opinions, anything down below. And if you have different thoughts and opinions on Annie's story and anything like that, please tell me everything down below. I'll let you know everything down below. But this is it for me today. So if you want more Walking Dead content, please look on the screen and click on something, because I do recommend you do it, because you'll find something that you like, guaranteed. And make sure to like the video and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Walking Dead. 2 videos a week, every week, and to help out the channel. But this is it for me today, so goodbye, peace out, and I'll see you in the next video.